Is the Edmonton Oilers signing of Curtis Lazar nothing more than a pathetic lowball attempt to paper over glaring roster holes with a washed-up journeyman who's never been more than a fourth-line afterthought? A move that screams desperation and exposes Stan Bowman's front office as clueless about what it truly takes to build a cup winner in the McDavid era? That's the blistering hot take detonating across NHL hot stoves right now, with analysts like Sean Gentle from The Athletic eviscerating it as a nothing burger signing. Lazar's a career plugger with zero upside, and pretending he's depth magic is the kind of delusional thinking that's kept Edmonton from a cup for 35 years. This is Bowman settling for scraps when we need stars. Welcome back to Oilers Update, your unfiltered inferno for the raw, unsparing truth in orange and blue hockey. I'm your host, unleashing the fury the so-called surprise move deserves. Today, October 31st, 2025, we're dismantling the hype around Curtis Lazar's bargain bin arrival, exposing why the $775,000 cap hit is an insulting band-aid on a roster screaming for real reinforcements, and arguing that it's a step backward for a team that needs bold, transformative ads, not more forgettable filler. This isn't about kicking a hard-working guy when he's down. It's about brutal honesty. Lazar's a fine role player for a rebuilding squad, but in Edmonton's win-now window, he's deadweight that won't move a needle, and celebrating this as smart strategy is the kind of self-deception that's doomed us before. Let's charge and shred the illusions and map out why the Oilers must demand better from Bowman before this kind of complacency costs us another shot at glory. Because in oil country, we've hyped enough depth gems that turn to dust. It's time to wake up and chase real impact, not more excuses. Let's torch the fairy tale right from the jump, because the Oilers' announcement of signing Curtis Lazar to a one-year, $775,000 deal is being spun as some savvy depth play. But a cold, hard look reveals it's a glaring symptom of a front office that's lost the plot on building a true contender. The news dropped like a dud firecracker. Lazar, a 30-year-old winger with stints in Ottawa, Buffalo, and Montreal, joins as bottom six fodder, hyped for his defensive presence and penalty kill grit. Sure, he's at 281 NHL games under his belt, with career totals of 38 goals and 92 points. That's a whopping 0.33 point per game average, and he's praised for his work ethic and physicality, averaging 2.1 hits per game last season with Montreal. The narrative is that in Edmonton's star-studded lineup, he'll handle the dirty work, chipping it on a forecheck and giving McDavid and Draisaitl, who combined for 35 points in 11 games this season, some breathing room. Analysts like those on NHL Network are calling it efficient cap management, noting how his low salary preserves our $17.7 million projection for next year amid extensions for Bouchard and others. But here's where the hot take explodes. This is delusional bargain hunting at its worst, ignoring Lazar's utter lack of offensive punch and playoff pedigree. Gentle, scorching critique hits home. Lazar's the definition of replacement level. He's bounced around for teams because he's never been good enough to stick. Oilers fans deserve better than this after 2 finals runs. And he's dead right. We've started 8-3 with a plus 16 goal differential, but our bottom six has been a black hole, contributing just 1.3 goals per game, 24th in the league, and Lazar's career-high 20 points in 2022-23. Won't fix that. It's like adding a spare tire to a Ferrari and calling an upgrade. This signing feels like Bowman admitting defeat on bigger targets, settling for a guy who's never cracked 10 goals in a season and has a minus 42 career plus-minus, a stat that screams liability more than asset. First off, Lazar's vaunted defensive impact is a myth propped up by selective stats, and relying on him to stabilize our bottom six is a recipe for disaster that exposes the Oilers' failure to address real depth needs with proven talent. Yes, he's solid on the penalty kill, averaging 145 shorthanded per game last year with a 78% on-ice success rate, and his physicality, 187 hits in 70 games with Montreal. Add some snarl. But dig into the analytics from Natural Stat Trick, and the picture crumbles. Lazar's lines controlled just 47.8% of shot attempts last season, below replacement level, and his minus 1.2 expected goals differential per 60 minutes ranks him among the league's worst forwards for suppressing chances. In Edmonton's system, which thrives on transition, we rank second in rush goals at 1.6 per game. Lazar's mediocre speed, 19.8 miles per hour top burst per NHL edge, and poor puck skills, 0.7 takeaways per game, will drag us down, turning potential breakaways into turnovers. The controversy rages on podcasts like the Hockey PDOcast, where hosts lambast as Oilers recycling another fourth liner like they did with Derek Ryan. Lazar's experience is cold for hasn't stuck anywhere, and he'll be exposed against top lines in playoffs, where he's managed pathetic 3 points in 15 career games. It's a valid incineration. Our third line has been functional but toothless, outscored 10-7 in even strength play this season, and Lazar won't provide the scoring pop we need. Compare successful depth adds like Florida Sam Bennett, 18 playoff points in their cup run, who brings goals and grit. Lazar's more like Zach Maswan, a physical guy we waived last year after zero impact. The hottest opinions on Reddit or /Edmonton Oilers are unanimous. This is Bowman cheaping out. Lazar's a warm body, not a weapon. We need a 20-goal scorer like Jason Zucker, not more energy guys who vanish when it matters. It's a brutal wake-up call. Hyping Lazar as strategic ignores that our real crisis is bottom six offense against elite teams, where we've been outshot 142-118 in losses this year. Adding him is like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Second, the low-cost efficiency angle is a smokescreen for a front office that's terrified of real risks, turning what should be a bold all-in push into a timid tiptoe that wastes McDavid's prime on budget bin scraps instead of championship-caliber talent. At $775,000, Lazar's cheap, sure, but that's because he's not worth more. His contract screams depth filler, not impact ad. And slotting him into our bottom six means bumping a younger, higher upside player like Raphael Lavoie, who's tearing up the AHL with 8 points in 6 games, to the press box. The cap savings are illusory. With our $17.7 million projection already strained by looming deals, Draisaitl's extension could hit $14 million AV. Every roster spot counts. And wasting one on Lazar blocks pursuits of true upgrades like trading for Boone Jenner, $3.75 million, 22 goals last year, or signing UFA Riley Smith. Insider Darren Dreger on TSN Field of Fire warning, this is classic Oilers conservatism. Lazar's low risk is code for no reward. Bowman should be swinging for fences, not pinching pennies on guys with 0.33 PPG career average. The debated take on dropping the gloves is scorching. Lazar's a new Milan Lucic, cheap grit that ages like milk. Oilers need scorers, not hitters, or we'll be bouncing round 2 again. It's spot on. Our bottom six ranks 25th in expected goals, 1.1 per game, and Lazar's offensive metrics, 0.9 shots per game career. Won't budge that he's a net negative in possession. With lines, he's on generating 48.2% of high-danger chances. Competitors like Vancouver, who added Jake DeBrusk for skill, or Colorado, with Casey Middlestat's 57 points, are lapping us in depth quality. Signing Lazar feels like admitting we're fine with mediocrity, a hot opinion exploding on Twitter where fans rage. Bowman's first flop, Lazar's waiver bait by Christmas. Third, Lazar's experience is a hollow selling point, a collection of journeyman stops that highlight his inability to stick rather than any real veteran wisdom, making the signing a chemistry killer that could disrupt our young core without providing meaningful upside. With 4 teams in 8 years, Lazar's bounce around because he's never elevated beyond a fourth-line role. His best season was 20 points in 70 games, hardly playoff tested. Just 15 games, 3 points. In Edmonton's high-octane system, 4.4 goals per game, first in the league. His limited skill set, career 9.8% shooting, will be exposed, turning him into a black hole for offensive zone time. The controversy boils on the Steve Dangle podcast, where hosts eviscerated as Oilers romanticizing grit. Again, Lazar's ethic is admirable, but he's no leader. He'll clog lines and frustrate McDavid, who needs creators, not checkers. Compare to successful vets like Corey Perry, who's added 4 points in 11 games this year with actual scoring touch. Lazar's more like Derek Ryan, a hard worker who's been invisible in playoffs. 0 points in 18 games last run. The hottest takes on HF board are brutal. This is depth for depth's sake. Lazar competes for minutes with Janmark and Brown, but adds nothing new. We're building a team of role players while stars carry the load, and that's why we lose finals. It's a damning critique. Our young talents like Holloway, if reacquired, Lavoie needs spots to develop, and slotting Lazar in stifles that, risking stagnation in a window where McDavid's at 24 points in 11 games. Wasting his prime on safe ads like this is criminal. Projecting forward, embracing Lazar locks the Oilers into a future of marginal gains and missed opportunities. Perpetuating our close but no cup curse by prioritizing cheap filler over the elite talent that wins rings. If he surprises, it might mean 15 points and 150 hits, adding 1 win per Puckpedia models. But that's negligible for our 72% playoff odds. Meanwhile, bolder moves like trading for Nick Paul, 20 goals, $3 million, could add 4 to 5 wins. In playoffs, Lazar's style shines in grinders but falters against skill. He was -2 in Montreal's brief 2024 run, leaving us vulnerable. The hottest take from Puck Soup is that this is Bowman playing small ball. Lazar's a feel-good story, but he'll be waived by February, and we'll regret not chasing impact like Tarasenko. Instead, target proven depth like Jason Zucker or swing for Jesper Bachvist. Players with upside. This signing projects complacency, not contention. Kill it and demand more. In incinerating this Lazar signing, we revealed it as a tepid half measure that insults our cup ambitions, reaffirming that true glory demands audacious ads, not bargain bin band-aids. But that's my blistering take. Lazar's a dud. Is this a hidden steal or a total whiff? Ignite the comments with your takes below. Smash like if this fired you up, and subscribe for more scorching Oilers breakdowns. Let's fan the flames.